Hello everybody and welcome to IRS Imola. We are here for another race here at Tier 1 and this is, let me just check, round number 8 of the IRS Championship. We have 12 drivers here today and, well, it's going to be 18 minutes of qualifying and I believe 36 laps around the Emilia-Romagna Imola circuit, yes. So, drivers should be able to do 3 push laps. They're 3 fresh soft tyres to do push laps, I mean. And we're just waiting to see who will pull the trigger to go out first. So far, zero activity on the pits at the moment, and we see drivers making their way out of the garage now. The Haas of Bacchus is coming out of the pit lane, as well as the Red Bull of either Kenterum or Pink Eye Penguin. The Mercedes and Aston Martin are also coming out, so let's switch to Bacchus, who is leaving the pits at the moment. I forgot that I have to get everything up. So, perfect. So, Bacchus out on track, Kenterum in the white Red Bull out just behind a couple of corners back, followed by the Mercedes of F1 Connor and Elmo of the Void. B-Carb leaving the pits as well. I believe that is either Jessic or Lellers. Both are now leaving the pits. The other Merc of DBK is also leaving. So drivers slowly shuffling their way out of the pit lane at the moment. We're going to be watching Bacchus though, who will be our first driver to go, and he's gone into the gravel. That's not what he wanted at all for an outlap, but nevertheless he's still alive. Oh, great. Yeah, no, that's just what you expected, isn't it? I'm gonna need an invite. Oh dear. Yeah. Good things happen in qualifying. So. I don't think anything. Communicating services. All right. Well. Oh. Yep. Oh. I've been reset. Yeah, I'm getting. Yep, it's failed. I'm gonna need another one. What is this connecting to online services, man? This sucks. The connecting to online services part. This game, I swear. Oh dear. Why is it like this? One time where I didn't want to communicate to the online services, it's happened. Oh dear. I'm gonna try to figure this out. I'm just gonna force restart the game at all. Come on. Lobby restart, something's wrong. Okay, too many people having problems. Oh dear. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I got no problem with that. How odd. How odd. Oh Jesus. My God. It's done it again. Yeah, good luck to everyone on the call being out. We'll see what my at the moment. Uh, that that's wonderful, isn't it? Thank you, EA. EA is really, really, really having. This is supposed to be part of next year's DLC game. It's not even the game; it's the DLC. Expecting communicating with online services to fix it. A little bit of time. start a game. Let's work. Wait. F1. Bragging. Yeah. Alright. Okay. We have to restart the game. It came back online for like a. Oh, there we go. This. So once again, we got communicating with online services. Suboptimal. Um, I've restarted the game 2 times already. It's not anybody's fault except for. But anyway, it's not. But it's good. Right. We'll try for one final time. I think I've got a plan. It's a plan, not maybe not a good idea, but it's starting. So sorry for the small intermission. We've had to restart again due to a mistake in lobby settings, but we're back. Finally, I'm able to join the session, and hopefully no more internet. Said that, I've probably jinxed myself, but nevertheless, we continue. We just deciding to increase this further, maybe this will be better. I don't know. There we go. Everyone now joining to go for another qualifying session. Well, we didn't really get started. We were like 2 minutes in and then disconnected and then restarted. I couldn't join and then restarted again. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's all good. And I believe because of the slight delays, I think we've got a few more drivers in than we started with. I'm assume so. I've seen a few things in the Discord, but so it should be better. Yes, we've already got more than one, so we got more than 12. 12 is what we started out in qualifying. We've got 13 so far in the lobby. All right. Looking good. No, let me just. "13 drivers in the lobby." "14 drivers in the lobby." And I believe after that, readying up. Perfect. Ah, corner cutting. Wait, is corner cutting on regular? Wait, no, that's not the assist, but settings, rules, and flags. It's on strict. Let's go. Good. I think he's just got fixed in time. There we go. If we somehow messed up again, we had to restart a third time. I don't know how Hella would be feeling right now. But regular corner cutting on Imola, like, it's easy. like it's so easy. 0 penalties, everything. If a person got a regular corner cutting penalty, laugh. Anyway, I'm kidding. Am I really though? Anyway, going now. Short qualifying here at Imola, part 3, I guess. Third time's a charm, is what they all say. Everyone now loading into the lobby. And we get underway once again for IRS round 8 for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix here at the Imola racetrack. And now it becomes a waiting game to see who will come out of the pits first, and some drivers already are. I believe that's a V-Carb and a Mercedes coming out. It is So the V-Cub of either Jacek or Leller's coming out. The Mercedes, both Mercedes are now out into the pit lane. The other V-Cub now coming out now. We've got the white Red Bull coming out. Who is that V-Cub? It's Leller's out on an out lap. Coming out of the pit lane first. Connor. Just behind the V-Cub on this out lap right now. I believe I forgot to turn on my video sound. There we go. Now you can hear the cars finally. So we've got Kenterum, Jacek also out. We've got DBK out, RX VMAX out, Elmo out of the on the track at the moment, and Connor goes past Lellers on this outlap. Let me just adjust a bit of the sound. So Connor will be the first one to set a time lap if he doesn't invalidate. Everyone who was in the pit lane is now coming out on track. The McLaren of Star Defender and the Donster are the final cars to be out on there, but Connor, who has been on pole position for more times than not, is out on his first flying lap. 18 minutes of short qualifying into 36 laps of this race. Down to 48% on medium. Tough few corners to the end of sector 1. It's a 23.483. That's the benchmark everyone has now. Getting as much curb as he can at the exit of what I believe is Toza. I could be completely wrong about those corner names, but what I cannot be wrong about is that this corner down here is Acca Minerali. Using every inch of the curb as much as possible through those corners. A tough sector 2 is a 48.942. Obviously purple, since he is the first driver to set, who is going to set a lap. Down to 8% battery, has seized the McLaren just in the distance, but will not be impeded through the final corner using as much as the exit curve. I think I said that multiple times. Comes across the line to set a 113.715. That is provisional pole at the moment. Lellers comes across the line with a 15.3. Jacek will come across the line. It's a 14.2, 5 tenths behind Connor. Then I believe it's Pink Eye Penguin. No, it's not. It's Kenterum, who will come across the line with 16.2 in the white Red Bull. Then RX VMAX coming across the line with 17.4. Elmo, who now places himself in third with 14.9, was just right behind RX VMAX towards the end of that qualifying lap, mind you. Pink Eye Penguin will come across the line, and what will it be? He's been challenging for the championship. It's a 14.3, just behind Jacek, 1 tenth splitting the two drivers. Fluid sets a 19. I believe it's Luco. Luco coming across the line is a 34. It's a slow lap. He's going to start another hot lap. Bacchus invalidates, so he will be restarting his flying lap attempt. Then it's Donster, who is starting another flying lap again. Will Star Defender be finishing his lap? He will be. It's a 14.895. It puts him up into P4 at the moment, just ahead of Elmo, and 5 tenths away from third at the moment. Bacchus doing a flying lap attempt. Who else is going to complete it? It's a 23.993. It's a decent first sector for Bacchus, actually. But Luco, who didn't set a fast lap on his first attempt, will be going again. Heading towards the final 2 corners of this track. Has the Aston Martin of Fluid just ahead, who is coming into the pit lane now. Luco will come across the line, and it will be a 116.537, puts him up into P9 at the moment. Bacchus exiting the final corner with a 15.397, puts up into P7 for the Haas driver. Donster comes across the line with a 15.393, and Star Defender comes into the pits. And who else is on the lap? Nobody else is on the lap at the moment. Elmo has invalidated, and Jessek has invalidated too. DBK out on going to be on the flyer. Hella High also out of the pit lane at the moment. The EC drivers haven't set qualifying laps just yet. DBK will be the next one to set a proper flying lap. Through the first couple of corners. His teammates currently on provisional pole. Can he match in the first sector? Using all of the inside curb. It's a 24.1 at the moment. Not using as much of the exit curb as he could. He was on the middle of the racetrack, but nevertheless he continues on through sector 2. .156 is cumulative, sectors 1 plus 2. Into the last 2 corners. DBK will set his first flying lap attempt, and it will be a 1:15.16 dead. Getting the slipstream. Connor is from DBK at a high, making his way through Acqua Minerale. Ferrari's another one of Ferrari's home tracks, although the main event is Monza. It's a 50.271 at the moment through the sausage curbs. 10 minutes of qualifying left to go. Hella High will come across the line now, and it will be a 1:15.5. It's enough to put in P9 at the moment. 5 tenths ahead of DBK. Just under 2 tenths behind Bacchus at the moment. Who is on the flying lap right now? VMAX is on an out lap. Mercedes of Connor has invalidated. So that's not a flying lap attempt for him. Fluid is down in his lap time at the moment, and he's still down in his lap time. He won't be improving on this particular attempt. And it has the Red Bull of Kentrum just behind. Kentrum's going to feel slightly impeded here. He's currently 3 tenths up on his lap at the moment, but this Aston Martin is not helping whatsoever. And Kentrum will come across the line now. It will be a 15.9. It's almost 3 tenth improvement. Puts him up to P10 at the moment. Star Defender invalidates his lap. Pink Eye Penguin looks to be finishing this flying lap attempt. And will come across the line now. Will it be an improvement? It is an improvement. It's the 13.9, 4.5 tenth improvement. Puts him 2 tenths behind Connor, who failed to set a second lap attempt so far. VMAX has invalidated Connor. Just mentioning him when Penguin came across the line isn't going to be finishing this lap attempt. Lellers is on the lap, comes across the line. It will be an improvement by just under 3 tenths. It's enough to put in P6. I think he was already P6. I don't know if I wasn't really paying attention. Anyway, Kendrick, say Fluid. Is Fluid going to come? No, he's starting again. No, he's coming into the pits. Star Defender, not on the lap. Who is on the lap at the moment? Luco is. Caution in Sector 2. That's a Ferrari going slowly. That is Donster. He was up in Sector 1, but must have made a mistake. So, Luco will come across the line. The McLaren driver will improve by 8 tenths. It puts him into P10. Is a 15.6. VMAX just about improving, but it's going to be not an improvement. It was an improvement through Sector 2, but not in Sector 3. Backass on the flyer now. Donster will not improve on this lap. Aston Martin of Elmo will start again. He invalidated on his previous flying lap. Jesek is improving by over 3 tenths. And it's a 4-tenth improvement. It puts him up ahead of Pink Eye Penguin and just under a tenth behind Connor at the moment. It's P2 for the V-Carb driver. Star Defender invalidated. Donster is hella high is on outlap at the moment. Backass is not improving because he's invalidated this lap. Donster is down on his lap time at the moment, but he can maybe improve through these final 2 corners. Oh, that rear is not happy at all. The rear is not happy at all because he's made contact with the wall. And that's his flying lap attempt over. Don't impede the other drivers. And he's the Alpine coming into the pits. The Aston Martin also coming into the pits as well. Ooh. Jesek. DBK is on a hot lap at the moment. He comes across the line. It will be not an improvement on this occasion. Let's Connor through. Fluid just behind, starting a lap again. Kentrim starting a lap now. Elahai is up at his lap time. It's enough to put in P6 ahead of Leller's just. It's a 5-10 improvement. 15 dead. 2 tenths behind Star Defender at the moment. I should stop saying at the moment. Jesus. That is what's happening. That is what's happening. Provisional pole still belongs to Connor, who invalidated on his qualifying lap attempts. I feel like I sound like a broken record. Will Fluid improve? Ooh! No. And he spun, he's crashed into not the wall. He almost did. But that rear, jeez, not happy. Oh, speaking of not happy, it's Kenterim who's spun at the chicane. It's a tough track for many of the drivers here, as obviously shown with just a few minutes left to go. 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Elahai coming into the pit lane. Luco out on track at the moment. The first one who will be setting his final lap attempts. Currently 3 tenths behind Backass, 3 tenths ahead of Kenterim. RX VMAX also out on outlap. The Alpine driver through Acqua Minerale. So is Connor. But Luco will be the first one. Drivers now slowly trickling out of their garages, as there is only 2 minutes left to go. Through the first sector, it's almost 2 attempts worth of improvement. He'll need slightly more if he wants to get ahead of Bacchus or the Donster. Second sector, 2 attempts. Now through the tough sausage curbs. Tidy. For the final 2 corners now. Luco will come across the line. It will be improvement, but how much? It's enough to put in P8. He goes ahead of Donster and Bacchus by just under 5 thousandths, just ahead of Donster, in fact by 1,000 for a second. RX VMAX slightly improved in his lap time, but will it be that much? No, he's lost time in the third sector. Connor has invalidated again, but he's still in provisional pole position at the moment. Lella's using every bit of battery in this final little straight. Every one of the curbs being used to its fullest. Lella's will come across the line, currently in P7 at the moment, just needs a small improvement, which he does. It's a 1/10 improvement, 1.5 improvement, and that's enough to put in P5. Ella High starting a lap. Donster also starting a lap. Who is on a lap at the moment? Bacchus is. Bacchus is up by about 4 attempts or a second. It could be enough. It's enough to put in P7, and just above 4 attempts. Start defender behind, just starting his flying lap right now. Fluid. Currently 1/10 up. Elmo will try to improve. He's up by 3 attempts. It is an improvement, but it's not an improvement in position. Not enough to go under the 14s, but 7 attempts ahead of Lella's. Jacek invalidated his final flying lap attempt, so he won't be getting pole position on this occasion. Fluid will be coming across the line now, and it's not an improvement. Hella High not improving, down by a second. Donster invalidated his lap. Pink Eye Penguin has his teammate just in front of him parked at the side of the road. But nevertheless, he continues. Is he up on his lap? Yes or no? He needs to improve by 2.5 attempts to get ahead of Connor and cross the line. It's not enough. He's down by 1,000th of a second from Jacek. 1,000th of a second, splitting second and first row on the grid. And that will be your grid for today. Connor, that initial flying lap attempt was enough to get pole position. Jacek in second place, not doing a final lap, but it's enough to get ahead of Pink Eye Penguin, who did do a final lap. 1,000, splitting those two. Then it's Elmo, 3 tenths behind. Star Defender in P5, who I completely missed, unfortunately, sorry. Who is up in P5, getting ahead of Lella's. Lella's in P6 with 14.8, Bacchus in P7, and Ella High in 8th place, Donster in 9th. The 2 Ferraris lining up 8th and 9th. Luco in 10th, Kentrim in 11th, DBK, RX VMAX, and Fluid, your drivers in 13th, 14th. So, 36 laps around Imola. How many time penalties are we going to see? How many overtakes are we going to see? Let's see what happens. Let's have a look at the incidents. Oh, a lot of exceeding track limits. Not surprising to see speeding in the pit lane penalties though in qualifying. But yeah, extremely close in the top 3. Under a tenth splitting the first 3 drivers. And in some occasions, 2000s, 1000s. It should... Okay, so for strategy, a one-stop is theoretically possible. In fact, I believe to be the fastest way around this track, just because of how long the pit lane is and how slow the pit lane is in here. A 2-stop is a bit more fun to drive on, considering you don't have to take care of the tyres, but it is slower by a little bit of a margin. A lot of drivers starting on the mediums, not much of a surprise. One driver, Kendra, looking to go on the soft for now, but drivers will have some minutes. Let me just check if there's a... Oh, we've already gone. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we get away for the IRS Imola Grand Prix. Connor takes the lead ahead of Jacek. Pink Eye Penguin just behind those two. Jacek will look to maybe go around the outside, doesn't. Those front 3 pulling away almost immediately as Star Defender and Elmo are going side by side just about through the first 2 corners. And Elmo keeps his position of 4th place, and Star Defender in 5th. Donster improving by 2 positions to get into P7, but your lineup is as it stands for now, as Jacek is looking to go down the inside but stays behind. Connor going very defensive on the pink V-carb through Acca Minerale. These 2 drivers go. The Mercedes, the V-carb and the Red Bull looking to be fighting, and Jacek will go down the inside for the lead, side by side through the sausage curves, and he does make the move done. What an impressive move, but Connor will be fighting back using overtake to go through the last 2 corners. Jacek and Connor side by side. Pink Eye Penguin is gnawing at the jaws of this opportunity, and it's backed everyone up for a single file straight. Jacek using all the overtake he can. What is his camera angle? And Pink Eye Penguin is also getting involved. 3 wide. Pink Eye Penguin in the grass. Jacek getting the lead of the race. Connor in 2nd place at the moment. Connor now under threat from the Red Bull into the first sector. Elmo in 4th. In the Aston Martin. Everybody basically within DRS range, even after the first lap, which isn't something you see pretty often. Jacek in the lead, but let's have a look at the tyre choices. Connor, the only driver to do a deviating strategy, starting on the hards. Everybody else, the other 13 drivers on the grid, starting on the mediums. Depending on how hard they push, the medium runners will be looking to do a 2 or 1 stop. And also depending on safety cars, we're back on the DRS straight, the singular DRS straight. Jacek setting the fastest lap of the session. Connor, this DRS zone makes overtaking a little bit more easier, but not enough on this occasion. Trying to get the better run out of Tamburello. And now heading towards Villeneuve. Every one of those drivers still right front bumper, front wing to rear wing. Elmo getting closer to Pink Eye Penguin at the moment. 2 temps splitting 3rd and 4th. Star Defender just waiting behind. And Kentrum is the first driver to get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And Donster, something's happened to Donster. It must have happened through Aqua Minerale, and he's slow on the exit. Could be gone into the gravel, or perhaps in the instant. Not too sure, but he's down in 12th regardless. The 4th lap will be beginning in just a few seconds as the DRS threat opens once again. Jesek saving all of the ERS to try to defend from Connor behind. Connor on the hard compound tyres. Connor approaching very fast. Connor around the outside, possibly. Jesek defending very well, placing his car at the correct moment, at the correct time, at the correct place. And Pink Eye Penguin is right next, right behind Connor. Elmo still just waiting by. Elmo's been a dark horse in these fights, just waiting, being patient throughout these races, and he's always ended up very high. Star Defender. These 5 drivers, well now 6 drivers because Lelis is still here, getting far ahead of the pack, being hella high, and Backass the 2 drivers just behind, and then RX VMAX holding up the 5 drivers behind him. But oh, that's not what I wanted. Connor can go for 3 times in a row now with the DRS. Elmo is even closer to Pink Eye Penguin. Pink Eye Penguin was fighting with Connor just a moment ago, but now has to defend from Elmo behind. Elmo doesn't go for the move. Perhaps this is an active decision to just wait and let the chaos in front ensue. Jesek doing amazingly well to keep this lead of the race. How long do the medium tyres last? Well, they have to last long enough to be able to go to the hard compound tyres to the finish, if that's what they choose to do. So that will be around lap 12, theoretically, or perhaps even lap 13, 14. Fluid gets a 3-second time penalty, 13th or 14th getting time penalties already. It's only been 5 laps of this race. Connor deploying DRS and overtake now. He was on medium on the last lap, waiting, and it's going to be an easy move for the Mercedes, taking the lead of this race. Man on pole back in first. Some swapping of the positions at the rear as Donster pits. Jesek on the gravel, and that allows Pink Eye Penguin to attack. And Jesek not happy with the rear through Tozer. I think that's Tozer. And now is out of DRS range from Connor. That's not what he wanted at all, because now he will be even more under threat from the 4 cars just behind. Oh, Jesek getting the rear out. And 1.5 seconds already splitting first and second. Pink Eye Penguin's been saving this ERS for this purpose. There's not much Jesek can do without the help of this device that we're not going to see in 26, but we're still seeing it now. Pink Eye Penguin, it's a simple, easy move for the Red Bull, and now has the Mercedes ahead to fight. Kentrum and RV Max fighting, and Kentrum also gets ahead of DBK as RV Max goes way into the gravel there And getting a 3-second time penalty for all of that as well, as DBK also gets a 3-second time penalty, but wow, that was an Alpine coming across our screens there, very unexpectedly. Jesek out of DRS range from Pink Eye Penguin now. Those tyres are now showing their age, as Elmo is the closest he has been. I guess the best opportunity to get into the podium places right now. Elmo opening up the DRS. Pink Eye Penguin gets the fastest lap of the session, trying to catch up to corner. Elmo deploying ERS and DRS. And it's an easy move as Helahai gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not what you want to see at all. And that will impact his race very heavily if he chooses to pit again. Or not even pit again. Regardless, it's a heavy penalty to hit, to contain. So Elmo now in the podium places. Jesek really struggling on these tyres. Like really struggling. Leading the race for about 5 laps. And then now is down in 4th place. Kentrum getting another 3-second time penalty. Jesek getting a 3-second time penalty as well. It's gone from bad to even worse. Star Defender just making it under DRS detection. But Jesek will try to get the move past Elmo, as Star Defender is coming into the pits. The first driver in the top 6 to come into the pits. This undercut, if it works, Star Defender should be ahead of these two. Star Defender on hard compound tyres. And will come out comfortably in P10. Has got a bit of clean air ahead of him and no pressure from behind. Jesek still hanging on the back of Elmo at the moment. Will anybody follow Star Defender into the pit lane, or will they continue on? Helahai gets a 3-second time penalty to compound that 10 seconds. No reaction from the top 4. Lelers, though, will be coming into the pits. And Jesek just 2 tenths behind Elmo. And DBK gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as he joins Luco in the pit lane as well. Lelers will come out and he will be in 11th place, I believe. No, it's going to be just in 10th place, but has got traffic ahead of Bacchus and Helahai. Would have preferred to be ahead of them, but regardless, it's happened. So we've got Jesek still within DRS range of the Aston Martin. Lelers will be desperately wanting to get past to make use of this tyre compound to try to catch up to the top 5. The Haas driver, though. Lelers committing onto the 2-stop as he's on another set of mediums. Jesek coming into the pits. following his V-Car teammate, and it will be the hard compound tyres. 10 laps. Those mediums last for. And Star Defender gets the fastest lap of this race. Gets ahead of Jessek very easily. Like, quite a number of seconds ahead of Jessek. And, well, Jessek is lucky to not be behind the Ferrari of Hella High. And also these other two cars of Leathers and Bacchus. Leathers getting past Bacchus now. Jessek has got clean air in front of him. Star Defender has Kentrum just ahead, who is struggling at the moment. 21 seconds behind Elmo. DBK gets a 3-second time penalty. Yep, Kentrum is struggling out there. Star Defender goes up into P4. So Connor continues on, Pink Eye Penguin continues on, Elmo continues on, Star Defender. Currently your fastest man out on track at the moment. Pushing on. Wasn't supposed to be in this race, but now is. Let me just, here we go. As Kentrum comes into the pit lane now. And it's status quo. Hella High, if he didn't get that 10-second time penalty, it would have been a good strategy call. And now has 2 pink V-carbs. In front and behind him, making a V-carb sandwich as Kentrum is leaving the pits in 12th place. Lelas and Hella High going side by side. Hella High keeps his 6th place for now, but now is out of DRS. Anybody from the front reacting, coming into the pits? No, they continue on. The front 3 committed to a 1-stop, which is the better strategy from what I know. That's if Star Defender can make these hard compound tires last 22 laps, which is a huge ask. But regardless. Oh, Hella High going slightly wide on the curve, and that allows Leathers to catch up. And Leathers already gets the move done just about before the DRS, but they're side by side now. Leathers without any battery, Hella High with no battery as well, but that DRS is all the difference he needs. Leathers to get past. And it's a V-Carb 5th and 6th, and there's the other flag at Aqua Minerale, and that's RX VMAX going slowly. Already in last place by 17 seconds. So now everyone just spreads out now, 13 laps in. Nobody's within DRS range of each other anymore. None of the front 3, I imagine, are going to pit. Definitely not Connor. He will be continuing on. Pink Eye Penguin moves, but Elmo will coming into the pit lane on lap 14 and gets a 10-second time penalty for not slowing down enough in the pit lane. That's 3 cars in this race to get 10-second time penalties. And that's not going to be good. That can allow Jessek to catch up to go into the podium, and Star Defender is now in P3. Jessek gets ahead as well, and Lela's also ahead, and Hella High also ahead of Elmo. These guys in front will probably have to pit again, but that time penalty makes Jessek's fight for the podium slightly easier. Makes Pink Eye Penguin and F1 Connor's life slightly easier as well. Oh dear. So. (9 seconds). Splitting Pink Eye Penguin. Oh no. Let me just... something. And Pink Eye Penguin now in the pit lane. Reacting to Elmo. Luca gets a 3-second time penalty. Where will Pink Eye Penguin line up? He's behind Star Defender. He's behind Jessek. He will be behind Lellers. And will he be behind Hella High and Elmo, who are fighting, coming out of the pit lane? And Elmo can't get the move on Hella High. Hella High gets a 3-second time penalty because that battle was going on while Pink Eye Penguin was coming out of the pit lane. So Elmo just saw the door slam shut on that move and can't do anything about it. Pink Eye Penguin looking to get the move done, but it is traffic. Star Defender now in P2. And Pink Eye Penguin just patient behind the Ferrari. Hella High has got 2 cars hungry to get past. And it could be a simple move for Pink Eye Penguin. I imagine it's so. But Elmo will also like to get past the Ferrari as well. They go into the first corner. Hella High pressured to going wide, and that allows Elmo to go for a switchback. And there's contact on the exit. And Hella High has to concede. Goes from 5th to 7th in just one sector. Connor will probably not be putting the slap. And so he doesn't. Jessek, within DRS range of Star Defender, Fluid gets a 3-second time penalty. Jessek also has a 3-second time penalty. As yellow flags, that is DBK in the Mercedes. No front wing damage, but there must have been a spin. Pink Eye Penguin, 2.5 tenths behind Lellers. Lellers, who is committed on the 2-stop after pitting onto the mediums. Jessek getting past Star Defender with an easy DRS overtake. Pink Eye Penguin looking to do the same, and he does. Lellers also losing to Elmo. You just got to know what's in that head in the Aston Martin. Making that mistake of not slowing down enough. 10 seconds. Star Defender still hanging on the back of Jessek. Just needs to be within... Oh! Going wide. That's not what he wanted. And is now out of DRS range. Still within Jessek's time penalty. But on older tyres, it's a guess or unlikely chance that he'll stay within 3 seconds of Jessek. Elmo now out of DRS range from Pink Eye Penguin. Let's open the time penalties at the moment as Pink Eye Penguin gets the fastest lap of the session. RX VMAX getting a 3-second time penalty. Let's open the time penalties. Where's that? Alright, so Jessek with 3 seconds as we know. Elmo with 10. Hella High with 16. Luca with 3. Penterim with 6. DBK with 16. Fluid with 6. And VMAX as... There was a move because the Donster is in the pit lane at the moment. and he will be going to the end. Connor not pitting. 24 seconds splits him and the V-Carb. Ever since taking the lead from Jesek, he hasn't wavered. Jesek starting lap 19 now. Star Defender 2 seconds behind. Pink Eye Penguin on the charge. Trying to make up for lost time compared to everyone else who is on the 2-stop. If Jesek and Star Defender can get to the end to this race on, well, with Star Defender's case, 22 lap old tyres, and with Jesek's case, what is that? 15, no it's not, 21 lap old tyres. That is a huge ask. But it could be possible, as Hella High comes to the pit lane as well as DBK. Connor will be pitting this lap on lap 19, slows it down just enough. And where will Jesek be in comparison? The V-Carb onto the main straight now. DBK was in the pits at the same time as Connor, and that could slow down Connor on his pit stop. Star Defender gets past Connor. Pink Eye Penguin and Elmo will get past Connor. Does that pit stop from his teammate that slowed him down affect him? It's currently, what is that? DBK gets another 3-second time penalty. 6.5 seconds behind Elmo. And it's got 12 laps to catch up to the 4 cars ahead. Leller's now completing his 2-stop out onto the hard compound tyres. Currently in P8, comfortably in P8, no pressure from behind. Clean air in front, it's got Luco ahead. Pink Eye Penguin within the RS range of the McLaren. Star Defender's tyres will be fading. The Red Bull has all the DRS and the ERS in the world. And Star Defender immediately goes into the pit lane, and Pink Eye Penguin could be taking the lead of the race here, with Jesek having a time penalty and also on 4 lap old harder tyres. Backass coming to the pit lane to do another stop. Star Defender coming out. Where will he come out? He's probably going to be comfortably, or not comfortably, ahead of his teammates. Luco. As Luco, you see him just behind. And Star Defender's got hard compound tyres on and a huge amount of space in front. Leller's getting ahead of Backass. And Backass versus Kentrum. Fluid gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And Backass comes out just ahead of Kentrum. So, Pink Eye Penguin cutting that deficit from 4.5 seconds now down to 3 within just a lap. He's hungry for a win. And now he's officially with time penalties. That's Fluid coming out of the pit lane. He is lapped. Donster and Hella High are right next to each other on the racetrack. DRS range for Donster. Oh, that's not well. And not a move for the two Ferrari drivers on this occasion, but they're still next to each other. Fluid gets another 3-second time penalty. .2 seconds now between first and second. Connor within 3 seconds of Elmo, and there's a yellow flag at Acqua Minerale, and I believe that is Luca. No, it's not. It's not Luca. Is it Luca? Something happened at Acqua Minerale, and that allows Leathers to catch up. He's under 3 attempts. It's Luca. Luca does have a time penalty, and Leathers gets the better run on exit. DRS activated for Leathers. This is for P6. Luca doesn't have any ERS, but is defending. Hella High gets past Kentrum. And the fight between Leathers and Luca will continue on. Through this hairpin, Leathers will go down the inside on the McLaren. Luca not giving up this position, is still on the curb. Back gets a 3-second time penalty. But Leathers went for a move, gets it done. And Star Defender gets a 3-second time penalty. RXV Max in the pit lane now, onto the medium compound tyres. Donster behind the Red Bull. His teammate got past. Can he get past? And there's yellow flags, and that's RXV Max at Tamburello. Donster opens up the DRS. Kentrum lets him pass, and now Connor is under half a tenth from the podium. Elmo does have a 10-second time penalty. Connor on the mediums has got 8 laps to climb up to first. Pink Eye Penguin also within DRS range as Hella High gets another 3-second time penalty. There could be 2 DRS moves on the same straight. Pink Eye Penguin behind, but doesn't have the DRS to work with. But he could be going down the inside on this occasion, and he does. Side by side through turn 1. Jacek is fighting, goes through the gravel. The 2 leader drivers. And Pink Eye Penguin gets ahead. Jacek not happy on the rear, but Connor behind, while we were focusing on the lead, gets past Elmo. And now, first and second can see the Mercedes in their wing mirrors. Luco comes into the pits to change tyres on those 15-lap-old hards, now onto fresh mediums. Connor won't be close enough to get DRS on this occasion. Jacek will have the DRS. But will he go for a move and allow Connor to catch up? 7 laps to go of this race. You see the top 4 on the same page, on the same screen. Completely different strategies. And they still all end up on the same picture. Jacek not going for a move. Elmo now comfortably in 4th place because Star Defender is 20 seconds away from this fight. Pink Eye Penguin is going to have to replicate Schumacher and Alonso to get this win. Is it possible with 11 lap old tyres to keep the mediums of Connor behind? It's going to be a tough ask to say the least. But don't count his chances. As Jessic goes wide, and that allows Connor through. Jessic getting onto the gravel. Those tyres are done. 15 laps on his hard compound tyres. And Connor within DRS range. Is it too much to ask for Pink Eye Penguin? Will Pink Eye Penguin defend? Into the first corner, not on this occasion. It's closing down and Connor has improved in his first sector. With just over 5 laps left to go. There's a yellow flag in sector 1, that's DBK going slowly. Four and a half tenths. The Mercedes and Red Bull. Jessic out of DRS range from this leading cars. Connor will be looking to go for the move on this lap. Deploys every bit of overtake and DRS. I'm sure Pink Eye Penguin is doing exactly the same. Doesn't have the DRS to help though. And where we'll see the pictures, Connor still behind Red Bull at the moment. The tactic that these drivers are doing now is keeping it none throughout every part of this circuit until the main straight. But Connor has the tyre advantage, so even with none ERS, even with the dirty air, he's still catching up. 5 laps, including this one left to go. And this is the closest that Connor has been to getting past Pink Eye Penguin. And Pink Eye Penguin has to defend now. Connor wasn't going to wait. Trying to put Pink Eye Penguin out of shape, pressuring the Red Bull. And it's going to be ERS and overtake Connor. The overspeed, 213 miles per hour peak. And it's a move for the lead on lap 29. Connor takes the lead of this race. Pink Eye Penguin now in second. But it's not over just yet. And slowly and slowly, Pink Eye Penguin starts fading away from Connor as Lillard and Backhouse are fighting out on the main straight. I think they swapped places on the previous lap or during this lap, but swapping back again. Lillard doesn't have a time penalty to worry about. So, in his eyes, he's perfectly fine. Pink Eye Penguin's still within DRS, mind you. On F1 Connor. Opens up the DRS. Lap 30. On the next lap, will Pink Eye Penguin go for the move? He looks to go round the outside on the first corner. Isn't able to get the move done as there's a swap of positions between third and fourth. Elmo taking the podium places, but remember he has that 10-second time penalty to worry about. He has to gain 7 seconds within 2 laps, which is a bit of an ask to do. I said he was fading away. He clearly isn't. He's still within DRS range, Pink Eye Penguin. Bring every bit of performance left on that hard. Hella High gets a 3-second time penalty. Approaching the penultimate lap of this race. Connor deploying every bit of overtake. Pink Eye Penguin has got DRS though. And approaching very fast, switching from the outside to the inside, and it's a move for the lead of the race so far. Connor will be fighting back. He is fighting back, but Pink Eye Penguin takes back the lead on the penultimate lap. But remember, there's still 1 lap left to go. Pink Eye Penguin will have to push to get out of the DRS, get out of the danger behind. Connor will not relent though, absolutely not. 11 lap old mediums versus 16 lap old hards. And it's all front wing to rear bumper between these 2 cars. Down to Acqua Minerale. Lellis and Backass switching positions once again, but we must be focusing on this lead for the race. No penalties in the top 2. 2 drivers, 2 different strategies, 2 different teams. This could be the final overtaking chance that Connor has. The man on provisional pole, Pink Eye Penguin, who started in 3rd on the 2nd row of the grid. Heading down towards the first corner, the Mercedes will go round the outside. He does it, contact, and Pink Eye Penguin will go for a last-ditch defense, and it's spinning, and it's a shame. Pink Eye Penguin losing positions. Going for the move around the outside. Tried to defend from Connor. Wasn't able to. But Connor, Elmo and Jessic, although currently your podium, they do have time penalties. So even with that spin, I imagine Pink Eye Penguin will still finish 2nd. Donster and Hella High swapping positions because Hella High has made a mistake. I imagine he's listed as front wing. Backass and Leather still swapping positions on the main straight. But never mind. As Connor on the alternate strategy will come across the line now to win in Imola. He takes the win. Elmo in 2nd place, but remember he hasn't served that time penalty, so it will be Jessic in 2nd, or will it? Because Pink Eye Penguin will finish 2nd, Jessic in 3rd, Elmo in 4th, and Star Defender, he wasn't even supposed to be showing up today, finishes in P5. Backass will now, between that fight between him and Lenners, is this close to finishing in P6. A good result for the V-Cub, as Donster is reversing on the track and made a mistake at Acqua Minerale. Backass coming across the line through the final corners to take a good result for the Haas team. Lellers in 7th. The 2 Ferraris. Oh, yeah, remember. Lellers had Lellers didn't have a time penalty. Backass did have a time penalty, so they swapped places. Hella High coming in 8th. Donster in 9th, and then Luco and Kentrum will finish in 10th and 11th, as Donster and Hella High swap positions because of the time penalties to Hella High. And that is your race. A lead for the... a battle for the leads going down to the penultimate laps. But the Mercedes takes the win. And Pink Eye Penguin finishes in second. Jacek in third, after leading through the first sections of this race, but fading away due to his tyres wearing off. But there you go. So, let's have a look. Who will be our driver of the day? Nobody really improved from their positions, to be honest. Everyone basically stayed where they qualified without many changes, but, you know, knowing the context, Star Defender finishing P5 while being sick and not even supposed to be showing up. Star Defender, although not improving, in fact, there's not really that much to say in terms of positions gained, but yeah, Star Defender takes the drive of the day. Great comms, mate. Cheers. Yeah, thank you. And that will be your race here today. Thank you very much for watching. Let's see what's next on the calendar. We have Hungary next, which, wow, okay, that's going to be an interesting race. I don't think I've seen a league race at Hungary for a little bit now, so that's going to be interesting. And that will be your live stream here today. Goodbye.